Are you ready to continue our walk in the foothills of Pen-y-Ghent? Well, we circled Holpot and we came back to the path that led us to a crossroads. Now, of course, the thing about a crossroads is you need to know which of the four directions you're supposed to go in. And that reminds me of a verse from the Bible that was brought by the prophet Jeremiah. I'm going to read it from the New International Version. So this is from Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16. This is what the Lord says. Stand at the crossroads and look. Ask for the ancient paths. Ask where the good way is and walk in it. And you will find rest for your souls. Well, thankfully for us, the finger post was well marked. Obviously, we didn't want to go back to Holpot, but nor did we want to go straight forward because that was the path we'd come up on. We didn't want to go left because that was a steep path up to the top of Pen-y-Ghent, and it was still in the cloud. So for us, right was right. And we took this good path up to the top of Whitber Hill. Now, normally when you reach there, you would have good views back to Pen-y-Ghent and in front to Ingleborough. But we were still in the misty fog. So all we could see were the sheep and the dry stone walls looming out of the mist. Finally, we descended down the other side of the hill and our path met the Pennine Way. And so we followed this down back into the village of Horton. Now, it was quite a rough, rocky road, quite steep and quite muddy. And it reminded me of a song that I had heard just the week before when I attended a live concert in Sutton in South London. And the person singing is a person called Buyala. She's from the Upper West of Ghana. And she's done a beautiful cover version of an old song from Ghana by a group called Osibisa. And it goes like this. We are going. Heaven knows where we are going, but we'll get there. And then it continues. It will be hard, we know, for the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we will get there. Certainly our path that day was muddy and rocky and rough in places. The key thing is not to give up, but just to keep moving carefully one step at a time. And that's what we did until eventually we came back down into the village. And then we were able to go and shelter from all that wet rain and fog in the Crown Hotel, where we were supplied with lovely hot soup, fresh sandwiches and hot drinks to refresh ourselves. And when we came out, it was like going out into a different world because the clouds were lifting and the sun was beginning to come through. And so in the afternoon, we were able to do a lovely walk alongside the River Ribble until we got to the other end of the village. And by the time we got there, the cloud had completely lifted from Pen-y-Ghent and we had lovely views again. We also met a shepherdess and saw this lovely sight of her feeding the orphan lambs. Now you know that the journey through life can be muddy and rough. But the key thing is we need to make sure that we are walking in the good way that God has planned for us so that we will get there, to the place where He is waiting for us. This is Junia, and I will tell you more about my life journey next week. Same time, same place.